Welcome to my channel, The Green English.
Chapter 2. The Dream Dragon. Timyason goes to bed unusually early this evening. Most evenings, his mother has to tell him to go and leave the men to sit round the fire in peace, as is their right. All too often, he stays up until his father puts his foot down. Only then does he do as he is told and goes into his little yurt, pitched right next to his father's tent. He has been sleeping alone here since last summer. Today, however, he cannot wait to go. He gulps down his dinner, makes an excuse, and goes to bed before sunset. As is always the case when trying to sleep, it takes a long time for him to sink into slumber. He has barely fallen asleep when Sarantuya comes to him. Just like every time, Timyason feels her presence more than he sees it. Well, in the first moments in any case. It is something big, infinitely soft, but also infinitely old and strong that steals into his dreams and only slowly takes on form. "I haven't seen you for a while," he says. "I didn't feel that you needed me," answers Sarantuya. The shadowy figure in his dream starts to become clearer. At the edge of his consciousness, something big, something ancient stirs, glinting like moonlight on silver scales. It touches his soul. He feels warmth and comfort and thinks he almost sees something. Almost. "Why did you do that?" asks Timyason. Sarantuya squints as the moonlight in the dream breaks on her scales and then flows down her flanks, jingling lightly as if, somewhere far away, 1,000 cymbals are being struck. It is always night in Timyason's dreams when Sarantuya comes to him, and there is always a full moon. He has stopped being surprised by it. "What did you say?" she asks him. Timyason has to force himself not to get angry. Despite her huge claws and sharp fangs, Sarantuya hates strong feelings like anger and fury. She is the most peaceful creature Timyason has ever come across. "You know very well what I mean," he says, just managing to keep control of himself. "That dog. Why did you stop Chooser killing it?" "Did I?" replies Sarantuya, pretending to be surprised. Then she laughs quietly. It sounds like thunder rolling in the mountains on the horizon. "What if your friend Chooser just missed?" "Nonsense," replies Timyason. "Chooser is the best shot I know. He never misses his target. Not even with a bent arrow," says Sarantuya mockingly. Timyason ignores this comment. "He never misses his target," he insists. "Well then, it must be that somebody wanted him to miss," says Sarantuya, smirking. "You?" "No," says the dragon, suddenly in a very serious tone of voice. "I would never do anything you do not want, and you know it." Timyason says nothing more. Chooser said nothing after missing. He simply walked on for a few moments, offended. The way he looked at Timyason showed that he knew exactly who he blamed for his unusual failure. Perhaps Chooser actually knows that it is Timyason's fault. Timyason has already told him once about his dream dragon, but Chooser's reaction was such that Timyason has never mentioned it again. It was years ago now, and Timyason does not know if Chooser remembers it at all, but you just never know. "You didn't really want to kill the dog," continues Sarantuya after a while. "But I was afraid of him," answers Timyason. "I know," says Sarantuya with a sigh. "But you don't need to kill everything you are afraid of. Do you remember the first time you saw me?" "Of course I do." "You were afraid of me, too." "No, I wasn't," claims Timothy, although this is a downright lie. He almost died of fright the first time the dragon appeared to him in a dream. So, continues Sarantuya, did you want to kill me because of that? Of course not, answers Timothy, outraged. I would never kill anything that hasn't done you any harm, says Sarantuya, finishing his sentence for him. I know. If it were any different, I would never have come to you. Timothy does not really understand what she is saying, but he isn't in the mood to ask questions. Sarantuya says many odd things that he does not understand. What do you want? He asks reluctantly. For once, Timothy's anger seems to amuse Sarantuya, perhaps because she too feels that, in reality, it is only directed against himself. Really? It should be me asking you these questions, she answers. If I remember correctly, you were the one who called me, and not the other way round. Since I'm here anyway, tomorrow is a big day for you. A very important day. Timothy thinks as hard as he can. Tomorrow? Tomorrow? How so? He asks, skeptically. It's a surprise, says Sarantuya, teasing him. You will meet someone. Someone who will become very important to you. Who? Asks Timothy. Yet Sarantuya does not even answer. She disappears with a silvery, bright laugh.
Subscribe my channel, The Green English, for more interesting stories and learn English through stories.